It's clear then that there are other militant groups in Afghanistan that present a security challenge for the Taliban. Most obviously, I suppose, the Islamic State group. Do you think the Taliban will be able to keep the country under control?
It's a big challenge for them. Afghanistan is a big country, and even if they overran or contained the Islamic State at the time in a parallel way with the Afghan government and with American firepower, it was a military operations. But holding into cities like Kabul, like big cities, plus more than 4 million people, it's another thing. And we saw the security challenge that they have for securing the airport, for example. And we know that even though they contained, one more time, the Islamic State militarily in Nangarhar or in Kunar, it's much more difficult to handle a city because the Islamic State has really terror webs in these cities, relying on all the webs, like the disappointed of the Haqqani networks, who permit them to go into Kabul and to commit the most bloody terror attacks in Kabul since decades. Like, for example, in last May, it was in a mosque against a religious scholar who's against them. In July, they bombed the presidential palace during the Eid celebrations in the morning. And we know after the attack of the airport with one suicide attacker, that they have the means to conduct such attacks. And it's very curious to see today that the Taliban will be forced to do counter-terrorism against the Islamic State in order to hold the country together.
Now, what about the role of the United States in all of this? Because there has been some coordination, we know, between the Taliban and the US over securing the airport. Obviously, the Americans have now gone. So do you expect some kind of coordination between them to continue?
Well, actually, it happened, as you say, and the Americans said that they are giving the Taliban security information in order to counter the Islamic State. And if we look carefully at what happened, for example, when the Taliban broke into the prison of Bagram, they freed everyone except Islamic State militants. They killed the former emir of Islamic State inside the prison. And as of some journalists, Afghan journalists said, they freed 70 Islamic State militants. They were in a bus, and once they left the prison, they were bombed by a drone. So, and we saw that the Americans also used drones against Islamic State militants lately in eastern Afghanistan. So this is very particular for the Taliban. If they keep cooperating, it might be damaging for them, for their image, and it might create splits and divisions in the ranks and give more force to the Islamic State on the other hand, because this is one of the things that the Islamic State is blaming the Taliban on. The Islamic State militants say that Kabul was handed to the Taliban, and this deal that was made, it was made especially against the Islamic State, knowing that this deal was cut also in Doha in order to contain Al-Qaeda, prevent it from preparing terrorist attacks in the West from Afghanistan, which isn't in the force of Al-Qaeda anyways today, and fighting the Islamic State, which is in the interest of the Taliban, first of all, and of the regional countries and the United States.
All right, Wassim Nasr, thank you very much indeed for your analysis. Our counter-terrorism expert, Wassim Nasr, on the programme there.